I thought I'd do a quick video on how to make the pencil box that I did for the new launch of the Pentagonal Kaleidoscope Lids for Tonic. And I thought I'd quickly show you the dies. I'm hopefully going to do some up-close videos at the whole Kaleidoscope range, and like, because you've now got the triangle, the square, the pentagon, the hexagon and the octagon lids, and there's 4 different sizes of heights and loads of different panel dies and everything. So I want to do a video on that, but I wanted to get this video done as well for anybody who was interested in how I made the pencil box. So in the video I'm going to show you for the medium-sized height version, which is what I made for the shows, and then I'm going to try a tall version as well using the towering trellis sides to make a really long pencil and see if that, it should work, but I just wanted to try it out. And so the new Pentagonal Kaleidoscope lids are coming out on Hochanda, and they're coming 2 different lids and 3 sets of sides as well, so I thought I'd just quickly show you them. So this Pentagonal lid, which is called the Elegant Eden, this one is basically exactly the same as all of the other lids that have come out. It just makes it a 5-sided lid rather than 3, 4, 6 or 8. And then you have this one, which is called Shape of Dreams, which creates a dimensional lid to your box. So it gives that peak to the box, and you can, as I'm going to show you in this video, you can snip parts of the die cut off and create it for the square box and also for the triangular box as well. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't work for the hexagonal or octagonal because it's not a very deep point for the pentagonal one anyway, so if you tried to make it any bigger, I think you just end up with a flat piece anyway. So, but definitely for the 3 and 4 sided boxes it works really well. So that's the main piece, and then for the triangle one, we're going to make sure we keep this tab on, and then we're going to cut it off here, and we're also going to cut a small section around here to create like the lead of the pencil as well. So we will need that one in a second, and oh, we're also going to need the triangular lid. I need to find that. And anyway, these are the sides that are coming out as well. And again, I will do an up-close video on these too, but it'll take me a little while. But this one's the Let's Celebrate, which has got that gorgeous bottle in, which I've used on my amazing one, which hopefully should have gone up yesterday. And then you've got the champagne glasses and the word celebrate. Then we have the toy box one, which has a giant teddy bear with like little alphabet blocks behind it, a rocking horse, and the little bow as well, which on one of my samples I made a hexagonal one with the bow sides and the original insert for the hexagonal lid, because it had a bow on it as well, so you've actually got a kind of bow element to go around the edge that matches that too. And then this one's Night at the Ballet, and it's got a gorgeous ballerina, a little fairy, and then some little ballet shoes as well. I really like that they've brought these out like this, so you don't have to keep buying a set with the outside dies to create the panels with. You can just literally add to your collection of decorative pieces, which is really great. So I just wanted to show you them quickly. So for these ones, let me find the triangle lid. There we go. So we're going to need the triangle lid, which came with the Festive kaleidoscopes, which came out, oh, it must have been like June. It was when we had that really big heat wave in the UK. Yeah, so you want the triangle version, and for the pencil, if you're making it the same size as the original one I made, you're going to want the Festive kaleidoscope side panels as well, because it's already got the 3 sides to make the triangle with. But you can do it with the 2 sides, because I want to make an extra long one using the towering trellis, it's really long, towering trellis one, and that's only got 2 panels in it, so I'll show you how you add the 3rd panel on as well. So if you only had these ones that have the 2 panels in them, you can still make the pencil as long as you've got the triangle lid and the new Pentagonal, what's it called again? I've forgotten its name. Shape of Dreams one. So I think I'm going to quickly die cut everything, and then I'll come back because it'll save a little bit of time. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I've done most of the die cutting, but I thought I'd better come back in and just show you some top tips for cutting the towering trellis one. So you want to make sure you tape it in multiple places you can see all the way down, I've taped it in a few different places, just to make sure that the die stays in place as you're running it through the machine, because it's so large. Usually I would cut this side of the card off and tilt it on the plate like this, but because we need a third side, I want to try and get as much out of the card as we can, so I'm going to run it through straight like this, and I'll show you what I mean to get the last panel out as well. It's a bit of cracking because it's a basic shaped die. Okay, so we've got the first piece done. You want to be careful with the tape. It doesn't matter if it rips the outside pieces, but we don't want it to rip the inside too much. Okay, so we've got the main two panels cut, which is just using the die, really easy. And when I did that, I put it up as close to the side of the card as I could, just to save card as well. But then we need our third panel, so now we want to take this portion of the die that's got the glue edge on, but because the glue edge is going to get hidden, it doesn't matter if we don't have all of it, so we're going to save card by using the score line here, lining it up as close to the edge of the card as we can and taping it in place. Let's do that a bit further over. Taping that down in place. I'll show you it up close in a second. And then it doesn't matter that on this side we haven't quite got the full glue tab, because that's going to get hidden once we've assembled the box, because we're going to attach the pieces together. So if I trim that off, oh, that's moved. Okay, so we stick that down there. So if I show you up close, I've tried to line the middle score line as close to the card as I can, because we're going to use that score line as a guide to where to cut down as well. And then on this side, you can see here, the die's further over than the piece of card there, but that doesn't matter because we're going to put glue on that and it's going to get hidden, so it doesn't matter that we haven't got a full glue tab, but we're just saving card. Otherwise you'd have to use 2 full pieces of A4. Well, actually you'd need 3 full pieces because you need the bottom of the box too. But anyway, so we're doing it like that. So we'll cut that one too. Then I've cut the other pieces, but the other piece I thought I would better show you what I mean when I'm cutting it, is we need to make the pencil lead for our pencil, and from the die we know we're going to want the glue tab and we're going to want 3 sides because we're making it triangular. So we're focusing on this part and we just want to cut that piece. So it doesn't matter if this is longer because we're going to trim that down, but we just want to make sure that we definitely get the glue tab and the 3 sides for this. It'll become clearer later on, but I just wanted to show you that in the die cutting stage as well, and I'll show you it again because I need it for the purple too. And you don't have to cut your boxes out of plain card either. I was just going for like a generic kind of pencil that has that stripy sort of tone-on-tone look to it, but you could do it out of patterned papers, because I know like a lot of children's pencils have got lovely little designs on and everything. I know when I was younger I was obsessed with my Dalmatians colouring pencils, so you know, if you had a patterned paper that matched a favourite cartoon character or something, you could make a pencil with that around the edge of it. Okay, so that's all the die cutting. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, so for the basic pencil we need that 3-sided piece, the triangular bottom which came out with the Festive side, which is what this was cut from. Then you need the new lid, which I've forgotten the name of again. Shape of Dreams. Why can I not remember that? Okay, you need the Shape of Dreams lid and you want these 3 panels for it. Then you need another piece cutting those 3, which we're going to use to make the lead of the pencil. You need a triangle cut from the sort of wood colour, and that's actually one of the layering triangles from the triangular base. And then we also need the final thing to finish it off, where did I put it? Yeah. A hole punch, like a small circle punch, or a small die if you've got one that kind of a size. I just had a punch, so I'm just using that. We just want to punch out a little circle as well, so when we do the bottom of our pencil, it looks like it's a triangular pencil with the wood and then the lead running down the centre of it. And you can just cut that out of any scraps you've got left over of the same colour. So that's for the normal sized one, and then for the taller one, and you need exactly the same components, except I have used the towering trellis sides, and we did that extra panel because that's only a 2-panel one. Then for adding the details onto the pencil, I was using 473 and 475, which are 2 of the skin tone colours from the Nuvo alcohol pens, to create my wood grain effect on the wooden parts of the pencil. Then on my original one, which I'd done in the turquoise, I was using 363 and 369 to give my stripy effect tone on tone on that card. And then I'm going to try 441 on the purple version. And this card is stuff that I've got from Paper Mill Direct a little while ago. So I think it's like 240 weight of card, this stuff. But anyway, so let's show first of all how we're going to cut down the pieces. I thought I'd just make 2 because I wanted to try the taller one as well, so hopefully it won't confuse anybody. So we want to take scissors, and so we want to keep the glue tab, and we want 1, 2, 3 sides. So we're going to use our scissors and just cut straight up on that score line, so that we just have the 3-sided piece now. And we want to do the same on the other one for the other pencil. You might even want to come back in from the other side to cut a smidgen of it away. But there we go. So just like that. And then for the, we can get rid of that rubbish. Then for the lead of the pencil, you want the same 3 panels. You want the glue tab still, so you want these 3 panels. So we're just going to cut up that score line again. And then when I did it before, I took my same colour of pen, and I was just adding on, you know when you sharpen a pencil it kind of gets those little grooves on it. I was just adding on that kind of a look with an alcohol pen, just to give that kind of texture to it. And then I literally just did a random edge around it, and I'll show you in a second how you get it to line up as well. But it basically just looks like a pencil sharpening, especially when you cut it out. So it doesn't have to be neat either. I think the sort of messier it is, the more kind of realistic it looks. So that's that weird kind of shape we've got. And then to check that it's going to line up, because this side's going to meet this side when we put it on the actual box. So we want to fold down the lines that are already in there. And then, oh okay, actually kind of matches up this time. And then we want to fold our little glue tab round and then just check. Funnily enough, that actually lines up exactly perfectly, but I need to trim the glue tab a tiny bit. But if it didn't, that is so weird that it's actually exact. But if it didn't match up exactly, you could just literally snip a little piece off so that they match up. So that's the lead for the purple pencil. So I'll show you it again for the blue lead as well, just because if you see it twice, it might stick in your head more as to how I did it. It's not that it's very difficult, but anyway. So we know we want, oh, let's cut it off first actually. We want the piece with the tab and then the 3 pieces. And then I'm using 369. Again, just doing that sort of rough, squiggly kind of lines to give that like texture on a lead of a pencil where it's been sharpened. And then just wiggly lines. And then we're going to cut that out. Again, doesn't have to be neat. You don't follow the line you drew, just sort of wiggle around it. You can kind of see what I'm doing there. Just wiggling all the way around. Then fold it all, fold the glue tab under, and then just check if it lines up. Oh good, this one doesn't line up, so I can show you. So there you see it's a little bit off. So literally just take your scissors, cut that glue tab round, and then you've got this piece here, so you know that the lead needs to match up with that. So literally just snip it round, and then when you fold it back together it's going to line up perfectly then. Okay, so that is the lead for the two pencils. Whoops, that was noisy. Then we cut that little circle, didn't we? So we might as well add some colour to that now too. So for this I literally just added a little bit of shading around the edge. Is that zoomed in enough? Just a little bit of shading around the edge, and then you can kind of just add a little bit of texture in the middle if you want. I don't know if I did that on the other one, I can't actually remember. But it just kind of makes it just not look like a circle of card stuck on the bottom. Okay, just that kind of thing. So that's the lead for the bottom. Then we also want to make all of our wooden pieces actually look like the wood of a pencil. And again, they kind of have that texture to them. Have I got a pencil here actually? Yes, so you can see on a real pencil, they kind of, well, I suppose you see the wood grain really, but you also have that like texture of where the sharpeners sharpened the wood off as well. So we just want to kind of create that look. So I'm taking those two colours, 473 and 475. I went round with 473 first, and literally just doing what I did on that pencil lead. Just hold your pen quite loosely and just draw random streaky lines, and then follow it down. They don't have to be uniform or even or anything, and it blends back into this card quite a bit as well. So just the same kind of thing, and then we'll come back and add a little bit with the dark as well, just to like, because this fades into the card quite a lot. It still looks quite dark on camera, but in real life it's faded more than that. So just random effect. And then we're going with the darker colour and just add a little bit more, not as much, just to sort of add some extra detail to it. I always think this is the kind of thing that really makes the difference between like something that looks more realistic as well. It really does not take much effort to just draw some scribbly lines on a piece of card, but once you've put that together it looks so much more like a pencil than if you hadn't done it. Like, that looks so much more like wood. And then for the bottom of the box, same two colours again, but I just sort of drew in a kind of swirly motion, like that, because we're going to put the lead right in the centre, so I thought following like radiating pattern out from that would look good. So that's that. And then obviously I'll do the same for the other box as well. And then for the stripy effect down the side of the box, for this one I'm just going to use the one purple colour, but I will quickly show you part of the turquoise one as well. Why is that not focusing? Bit of the turquoise one as well to show you how I did it. But you just want to take the chisel end of your pen, this is the 441, and literally all you're going to do is just draw lines, and it just gives that like subtle tone on tone stripy pattern. You don't have to do this, I just thought it looked like a pencil to me with that kind of a look to it. And don't worry if you go a bit wonky as well, that they're not equal parallel to each other. So right, there we go. And then for the base of it as well, you can be really precise and line them up like this and do that. It just depends if you want it to be exact or not, and then you just twiddle it like this and follow the stripes again, and just make sure you stick the bottom on the right way round when you put it together, and then twiddle it again. So that's literally how you create that stripy look on the pencil. I've only done it with one colour on this one, but when I did the turquoise one originally, I'll show you quickly on this side, I added two colours onto it. So this is one of the sides. I'll come back and show you the assembly of both of them in a second, but I'll just get all of the colouring done. So I was using 363 and 369, so I went on with 363 first and did the long stripes. There is no way you're going to get them dead straight unless you use a ruler, so don't worry if they're not straight. And then I've come back in with a darker colour, the 369, and I literally just went with the fine tip on this one, and I just did one extra line down one side of the original stripe. Just like that. I went a bit wonky at the end, but anyway, just to add a bit of depth to it, but either way looks good. Just the tone on tone, or the two colours together. So I'll finish off adding the colour to the rest of the turquoise box and then be back to show you the assembly. Okay, I'm back. So I thought I'd just tell you when I thought up this idea. It was really funny. I like to plan out my ideas for when I'm doing samples for the launches of Tonic products, to make sure that I'm using like pretty much everything. And I'd drawn out all my ideas for all of the boxes, and then I was just having lunch on one of the days when I was making them, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if it would make a pencil. And then it was like perfect, because this side of the box, it looks so much like the sharpening of a pencil, and I was so pleased when it worked. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. But yeah, so let's go on with the assembly of the well, this is the tallest side that you would use for the new panels that they've brought out, but it's not the actual tallest, it's the one shorter, because there's 4 different heights of kaleidoscope sides that you can get, but this is like the one shorter than the tallest. So first of all, we'll do this first. We'll make the top of the box first. This is actually going to be the lid. We're going to be able to take this on and off to put stuff inside. Like you could give it as a gift with like crayons and pencils and colouring stuff for a child, or you could use it as a pen pot on your desk, or just have it as decoration. So we just want to bend all of the lines, just as you would if you were making this for the actual pentagonal lid with all 5 of the sides on it. And then I'm going to use a mixture of the 3mm red liner tape and also some wet glue as well, and then I like to peg it too, just to make sure it's going to stay together. So I just got this roll on Amazon. I mean, I did all of those Festive Kaleidoscope boxes as well with this roll, and I've still got this much left. It was like a 50-metre roll, so it really does last you a long time when you invest in a big roll of it. I've now lost my scissors. I'll have to just use these ones. Okay, so you want to put it on that flap there, and then all the little flaps that go around the side of the pencil as well. Sometimes it's easier to chop it off and then stick it on. While I'm doing this, I might as well put it on the bottom of the box too, and again there's just the 3 little tabs on that. And also down the long length of the box too. Okay, so for the lid of the box, the way I like to do is I take the red line tape off of everything. I usually use my small scissors, but oh, here we go. Okay, got them. I've been doing so much stuff, you should see the side of my desk next to me. It's covered. So I just use scissors to help me take the backing off of any tape. So we've got the backing off of all of them. Then I take glue in a fine tip bottle just because it's easier. Oh, some stuck on the end. And then I just add a little tiny bit just as extra security. So first of all, we want to join the top of the box. So we want to pull this round. Oh, I didn't bend that one. So we're going to pull that round and stick that underneath. Really easy to do. It just makes a pyramid shape, just sticking that one, and that can be a tight join. And then for the other 3 joins around the top, you want to do what Jodie says when it has a tight bottom and a loose top. So you want to just leave a tiny little gap. Just a teeny weeny gap, just so it makes it a tiny bit looser, so that it's easier to get on and off the box. And then I also add a little peg on that as well, just whilst that wet glue completely grabs. Just keeps it together nicely. If you've got any, where we cut that side off, there's a little straggly bit there, cut that off. Okay, then we want to add the lead to our pencil. So that's just literally going to sit on top, just like that. And we want to line up the seams as well, just they might as well be in the same place. So we can add a tiny bit of red line tape onto that too. Just on the little tab that's there. And then for this one, oh, it'll come off. I'm going to add the glue to the tab, and then I also want to add glue inside here as well, because that's going to stick to the top of the box then. And then just place it on to the, oh actually, we'll better do that side first. Place it onto the top and wrap that around, and then just stick the tab together. Just like that. So now it's already looking like the top of a pencil, and all we've done is make the lid. So then we're just going to leave that to dry, and then we're going to work on the base of the pencil. So we've got our triangle lid with the stripes that we drew on it. If you think your stripes that you've drawn on your card are a little bit too too contrasting between the cardstock and the colour of pen you've used, you can always run over them with your blender pen as well, and that just blends it into the back of the card if you want to. So before we assemble that, we're going to stick the wood of the pencil onto the bottom as well. So I'm just going to use normal double-sided. This is the Tonic tissue tape. I really like because the backing comes off really easily on this. Really easy to get off. And then I'm just going to use some of the Deluxe glue in the normal bottle to stick that on. Just to make sure it's going to stay on nicely. Then finally we're going to add our little bit of lead in the centre of the pencil too. So then to finish this, again, I'll put the lid back on that. I like to take off all of the backings and put the glue on first rather than doing them one by one. I just find it's quicker. Just like that, and then joining them together. And this one can be tight because it's going to be the bottom of our box, so we're not going to want to get this on and off. This is going to be stuck to the box, so we just want to do them right up like that. And again, I'm going to leave that with the little pegs on. So there we have the bottom of our pencil and the top of our pencil already done. And then it's easy peasy for the middle section. You just want to fold these. I'm going to use my the Tonic card creaser just to make sure the folds are nice and sharp. And we want to fold the glue tab as well. Right, and then again I want to take the red line tape off and put some glue on. Then with the triangle ones, because if you're used to making the 6-sided, 4-sided or 8-sided when they've got an equal number of sides, you can fold them flat to get them to stick. But when you're using the triangle or the pentagonal one, you've got an odd number of sides, so you can't fold it flat. So you're going to have to hold it in mid-air and line up. I like to line up one end and get that staying stuck, and then turn it round and line up the other end, and then use your fingers along this edge. You can squidge it like that actually, to get it to stay stuck. And if it's not quite sticking, or if you're having trouble with it, if you lay it down onto your mat with so you've got the glue tab is running along the bottom edge really, and then put your ruler inside and push down against it. That gets it to stay stuck as well. And I'm just going to leave it with a couple of pegs on to make sure that dries. Now, because it's exactly the same process, I'm just going to quickly make these up and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, so now that's all had a chance to dry, we can take all of the little pegs off. Then we need to attach the base of the box. So for this I'm just going to use some of the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, and because this one we lined up all of the stripes, we want to try and get that as accurate as we can, maybe this way. Yeah, I think that's the way around we did it. That's good. So we just want to add some glue to the bottom edge of the box. Then, make sure that's the right way around. Yep. For the triangle one, I find if you do that, it's much easier to get it inside. You've just got to be a little bit wary of the glue tabs for the bottom of the lid. And then push it in. Then take your ruler again and then lay it flat on the table and just press it into the glue. You might have to go around a couple of times whilst the glue starts to grab to it. Eventually it does grab all the way around. The ruler is especially helpful when you're trying to do a long triangular box too. So that's nearly all stuck. You can use red line tape as well to stick the bottom on if you wanted to. And then all we got to do is put the lid on. Oh, I didn't crease that side. So there we have our little pencil. You can make it a bit neater. I was kind of rushing to get it done, but so that's the actual size of pencil that I made for the one that will be on Hochanda, and then I can show you how to do the tall one as well. So we've cut this side and then we also cut that extra side. So I would usually use my trimmer, but I've got so much on my desk at the moment that I'm going to make a mess. So instead I'm going to take a metal edged ruler and the Tonic knife. You can just use a normal scalpel if you want to as well. And then, I don't know if you can see, so on here, this is where we'd lined it up with the edge of the card, and that's the middle score line that's made a dent in there, so you just want to cut through that. And then this will give you your third side of the box. And you do the exact same thing if you were just making a normal triangle box and you want to do it this tall as well. So you just want to cut that off, and then you can see now we've got the glue edge on the other side, which is a bit wonky, but it doesn't matter because it's going to get hidden. And so now we need to add some of our tape down that glue edge as well. Then you want to join all 3 of your panels together with that wonky glue tab. And again, you can use a little bit of wet glue on here just to make sure it's going to stay. Especially when it's, I know it's cold at the moment, but especially when it's hot, you want to add that extra bit of wet glue to make sure it's going to stay stuck. And just line that up all the way down. I feel like that's a little bit wonky. I should probably take my dye a bit better, but anyway. That'll do. So then we want to fold all of these lines, and that should have waited for that to dry a bit more. Fold this one. If I press on that should be good. And then fold that glue tab, and then fold the final side as well. So we've got our 3-sided pencil again, and then we're going to do the same as we did for the other one, where we take the tape off and wet glue and then line up one end. I'm going to peg it as well, and line up the other end and peg it, and then press the central bit together. You can squeeze that as well to get it to grab onto it, and you can do the ruler trick as well. I think that's quite well stuck actually. On these little pegs that I'm using, they're just like the little craft pegs. I got mine from the works. I just really use them a lot, especially when I'm making the kaleidoscope boxes. So I did these ahead of time, so you didn't have to see me doing that again because they're exactly the same. And then we can just stick these on. So as this one is longer, I think I might add a little bit of the red line tape inside the bottom of that lid, just to make sure it stays stuck, so we don't have to keep pressing it down to get the sides to stick at the bottom. So I'm just putting a little piece on the interior of all of those 3 sides, then peel the backing off. I'm sure if you've made any of the kaleidoscopes before, you've got your own way of how you put the bottom of your box on and everything, so do it how you want to do it really. This is just how I've been making them. And then just add a bit of glue. That'll just make sure it should be nice and strong then. This one actually would be really great for like giving someone some paintbrushes. I know it's a pencil, but you know, paintbrushes are usually longer, aren't they? So just squeeze it down the sides just to get it on, and then use the ruler again. And there we go, there's the bottom one. And then just put the top on as well. I think that's on. So there we have 2 different sizes of pencil, and don't forget, you can't really show them, I'll show it that way. Don't forget there are 4 different heights of kaleidoscopes that you can make, so you can do that in 2 more sizes as well if you wanted to. And because they're triangular, they're all going to stand nicely next to each other. You could have like a whole rainbow of them in different heights. That would look really cool. So this is the towering trellis side, which is a two-sided one, but then you just cut one extra side to make it the three-sided. And this side is the one from the Festive Kaleidoscope panel dies. But if you have either of the other two that are this length, you can just do the same thing as we did for that one. And any of the shorter ones, they're only 2-panel ones, so you can just cut the third panel and stick it on. So I hope you enjoyed seeing how I made these pencil-shaped boxes using the Tonic Kaleidoscope dies. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!